Let's get lost in the labyrinthine lore of Atlantis, the crown jewel of lost civilizations. But what is Atlantis? Well, it's not just a highly speculated location on a map or a dreamy concept of a utopian society. It's a complex myth, a symbol of mysteries that we yearn to solve. The first seeds of this grand narrative were sown in the works of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. Around 360 BC, he wove the tale of a super-civilization, Atlantis, in two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. His Atlantis was an island nation of grandeur and majesty, situated beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we know today as the Strait of Gibraltar. According to Plato, Atlantis was a powerful and advanced civilization known for its engineering marvels and wealth. Its capital was characterized by concentric rings of water and land, each ring filled with bustling ports, grand temples and luxurious palaces. The center was supposedly occupied by a royal palace, enveloped by a golden wall. But here's the kicker. Plato described Atlantis as a landmass larger than Asia and Libya combined. To our modern comprehension, that's essentially an entire continent. A grand claim indeed, considering we're discussing a civilization that supposedly existed around 9,000 years before Plato's own time. Yet, despite its supposed might and wisdom, Atlantis met a catastrophic end. In a single day and night of misfortune, the island nation sunk beneath the sea, disappearing without a trace. From being a marvel of the ancient world, Atlantis descended into the abyss of the Atlantic, fading into myth and mystery. So there you have it, the Platonic image of Atlantis, a technologically advanced society, a perfect utopia that fell from grace, swallowed by the sea. Whether it existed or not, the tale of Atlantis has captivated the human imagination for millennia, propelling countless explorations and investigations. But what if our understanding of Atlantis has been wrong all along? Could it be that the true location of Atlantis is not beneath the waves, but somewhere completely unexpected? Let's dig deeper. The chronicles of history are bursting with hypotheses about the possible location of Atlantis. Indeed, it seems the quest for the lost civilization has tempted scholars and explorers for centuries, from the edges of the Mediterranean Sea to the distant islands of the Atlantic. The most straightforward interpretation of Plato's account is that Atlantis was indeed beyond the Pillars of Hercules and thus in the Atlantic Ocean. This interpretation was widely favored during the Renaissance, with maps from the era even including an island of Atlantis amidst the uncharted waters of the Atlantic. In the 1880s, Ignatius Donnelly, an American politician and writer, stirred the imagination of millions with his book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. He proposed that Atlantis was the mother civilization from which all known ancient cultures sprang. He drew connections between various cultural and linguistic similarities across the world to reinforce his theory. But the Mediterranean wasn't overlooked either. In the early 20th century, K.T. Frost and Spiridon Marinatos suggested that the tale of Atlantis was a memory of the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete and Thera. This civilization had indeed been advanced for its time and was destroyed suddenly, likely due to a massive volcanic eruption around 1600 BC. Even the Americas weren't spared the speculation. Some early scholars thought that the discovery of the New World by Columbus was actually the rediscovery of Plato's Atlantis. The Mayan and Aztec civilizations with their pyramids and writings bore, in their eyes, uncanny resemblances to the Egyptian civilization. The theory of the Bimini Road, a submerged rock formation near the Bahamas, being a part of Atlantis, also gained popularity in the mid-20th century. Yet, despite the multitude of theories, none have provided conclusive proof. The tantalizing tale of Atlantis, it seemed, slipped through the fingers of historical fact, spiraling into the realm of conspiracy and myth. But as the sands of time shifted, so too did the perspective of Atlantis. Could the shifting sands of a desert reveal the truths of a civilization lost to the sea? Let's unravel this theory. Could the towering dunes and desolate expanse of the desert hold the keys to unlocking the mystery of Atlantis? This might seem like a far-fetched hypothesis. After all, when we think of Atlantis, we typically envision a city submerged beneath the waves, not buried under sand. But bear with me as we delve into this peculiar possibility. First, let's cast our minds back to the Sahara Desert during the Holocene epoch around 11,000 to 5,000 years ago. Known as the Green Sahara, or the African Humid Period, the Sahara was once an expansive, fertile land, filled with lakes, rivers, and teeming wildlife. Picture thriving civilizations prospering in this lush landscape. A significant point of interest in this theory is the Richat structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, located in Mauritania. This striking circular formation etched into the desert floor, visible even from space, bears an uncanny resemblance to Plato's detailed description of the Atlantean capital, complete with concentric circles of water and land. Could this natural wonder be a geological ghost, the skeletal remains of the long-lost Atlantis? If we align this theory with Plato's chronology, the timelines seem to match. Plato claimed that Atlantis vanished around 9,000 years before his time, which would place it at the end of the last ice age, a period of dramatic global climate change that could have transformed a once green and fertile Sahara into the desert we know today. This hypothesis suggests that Atlantis was not swallowed by the sea, but rather succumbed to an equally powerful force, desertification. Yet, despite the intriguing connections, skeptics argue that the Richat structure lacks any tangible archaeological evidence of a past civilization. No signs of human-made structures or artifacts have been discovered there, though some proponents of this theory argue that such evidence might still lie buried under layers of sand, waiting to be unearthed. This Atlantis in the desert theory, though controversial, is a captivating twist to the age-old Atlantis mystery, emphasizing our ever-evolving understanding of Earth's past landscapes and our enduring fascination with lost civilizations. The idea of Atlantis has captivated the minds of many throughout the centuries. Its mystery has sparked countless expeditions and investigations, but concrete evidence, particularly archaeological proof, has been elusive. This lack of physical evidence has led many scientists and scholars to view Atlantis as a myth, a philosophical parable written by Plato, and not a factual account of a lost civilization. Supporters of the existence of Atlantis often point to Plato's writings as the main source of evidence. Plato, in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, presents Atlantis as a powerful and advanced civilization that existed 9,000 years before his own time. His detailed descriptions of the island's layout, complete with concentric circles of land and water, have been interpreted as a blueprint of a real place. However, critics argue that Plato's descriptions are too fantastical to be real. They note that Plato was a philosopher who often used allegories to convey ideas about morality and human behavior. Some scholars suggest that Atlantis was merely a literary device, a utopia gone astray created to illustrate his philosophical theories. Adding to the controversy is the varied interpretations of where Atlantis could be. Theories range from locations in the Mediterranean, like Crete and Santorini, to more exotic locations such as the Caribbean, Antarctica, and even the Sahara Desert. Each theory is usually backed by some intriguing correlations, but none have produced definitive archaeological proof linking them to the advanced civilization described by Plato. Some Atlantis believers suggest that the reason we haven't found Atlantis is that it was so completely destroyed and submerged that all traces have been wiped away. They point to the many underwater structures and anomalies discovered worldwide as potential evidence of submerged ancient civilizations. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that most of these underwater formations can be explained by natural geological processes. Today, our understanding of Atlantis is colored with a blend of skepticism and fascination. Plato's account, the sole historical document we have of Atlantis, is seen by most historians and archaeologists as allegorical rather than historical truth. For these scholars, Atlantis serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of hubris and the fall of a once powerful civilization, perhaps a reflection of Athens' own downfall in the Peloponnesian War. However, the search for a historical basis for Atlantis has not been completely abandoned. A compelling hypothesis, known as the Black Sea Flood theory, proposes that a massive flood in the area around 5600 BC might have given rise to the stories of a lost civilization. The Richat structure, or the Eye of the Sahara in Mauritania, is another tantalizing candidate. With its concentric rings, this natural geologic formation closely resembles Plato's descriptions of Atlantis' capital city. Some researchers speculate that this could be the remains of Atlantis, now hidden in plain sight in the desert. However, it's worth noting that the Sahara was not always a desert. The Green Sahara period, or the African humid period, occurred around 11,000 to 5,000 years ago. This period saw the Sahara as a vast savanna, rich in fauna and flora, with a network of lakes, rivers, and even a sea that would be known today as the Chad Sea. Could it be possible that Atlantis was an advanced civilization flourishing in this fertile landscape, only to be swallowed by the desert as the climate changed? But Atlantis could also be hidden beneath another kind of sand, sediment at the bottom of the sea. Recently, submerged structures found near the coast of Cuba have ignited the imagination of some researchers. These structures, lying about 2,000 feet below the surface of the water, appear to be geometrically organized, a pattern typically associated with human-built structures. While these modern understandings and discoveries certainly add layers to the Atlantis narrative, they also raise more questions. As the relentless quest for answers continues, the shrouded city of Atlantis remains an elusive and captivating mystery of our ancient past. As we move into the future, the mystery of Atlantis continues to both enthrall and challenge us. With advances in technology, particularly in the fields of archaeology and oceanography, the prospect of discovering evidence of such an ancient civilization seems increasingly within reach, if it indeed existed. Underwater archaeology has seen major advancements in recent years, with new technologies such as remote-operated vehicles, ROVs, and advanced sonar systems allowing us to explore the ocean floor like never before. This has opened up the possibility of discovering submerged cities and settlements that could shed light on ancient civilizations. Despite the skepticism surrounding the existence of Atlantis, the potential for new discoveries keeps the hunt alive. In the realm of land exploration, satellite imagery and remote sensing technologies like LiDAR, light detection and ranging, are revolutionizing the field. These tools are providing unprecedented insights into the Earth's surface, revealing hidden structures and cities buried by time and natural processes. The theory of Atlantis being located in the Sahara Desert, for instance, could be investigated using such technologies. In terms of theoretical exploration, the development and application of sophisticated computational models could provide valuable insights into the past. By simulating climate patterns, ocean currents, and seismic activity over thousands of years, we may better understand the conditions that could lead to the rise and fall of a civilization like Atlantis. There's also the role of multidisciplinary studies. Historians, archaeologists, geologists, climate scientists, and many others could offer valuable perspectives and insights, enriching the search. The diverse fields involved highlight the complexity of the Atlantis mystery and the potential to make a breakthrough with an interdisciplinary approach. However, the future of the search isn't merely about finding Atlantis. It's also about the quest for knowledge and understanding our shared human past. Regardless of whether Atlantis was real or myth, the study of ancient civilizations can provide us with valuable lessons about societal development, technological advancements, environmental management, and the resilience and adaptability of human societies. Even if the city of Atlantis remains lost to us, the search for it will undoubtedly yield new discoveries and knowledge that can expand our understanding of the ancient world and ourselves. So, in a way, the future of the search for Atlantis is as much about the journey as it is about the destination. And as always, thanks for watching.